Now, what I want to let you know, my friends, I am an expert in feminine and masculine dynamic. For those of you who don't know me, in 2020, I stopped running my private practice and I fully shifted being a stay-home mom and a stay-home wife. And that's what I do now for the past 5 years. This transformation led me to sometimes share my knowledge on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, but it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. If you ladies think that you can make a relationship work and being in your feminine by working full time and chasing career and chasing money and being independent, please know that it's just going to be a matter of time that your health gonna deteriorate, whether it's physical health or emotional health or mental health. And when you are deteriorating, you feel exhausted because you obviously go to work, whether it's full time or whether it's even part time. The energy that belongs to you and your husband, your children, you're giving for 20 or 50 bucks or even 100 bucks an hour to a corporate America or your business or workplace, basically. And you are stealing this energy that belongs to you to this corporate America, or again, could be business that you're running and to clients. And please know, as a woman, when we do that, we violate ourselves and our men and our children. Because not a single man who is healthy, emotionally healthy, and who is a provider and protector gonna be happy with a woman who goes to work and tries to help him pay bills. Whenever you do that, you are taking away his energy, masculine energy, and it is his duty to conquer himself and his challenges in order to become a man, not just a man, a masculine man. And every man, in order to respect himself and have a dignity, he has to overcome the challenges in order to believe in himself that yes, he's a leader and he can provide for himself first and then for you and his children. But when you go to work, you're taking that possibility because every single man will look, well, if you're working, if you're paying bills, if you're paying for mortgage and insurance and apartment, why do I need to do that? Men are very logical and they look at your action. And if your action is you dreaming and you have goals to succeed and being independent and make money, he clearly gets the message that he can relax or work part-time and not become this provider, protector, and a leader who is a high-value man in order to protect you and his children. He just slows down. And that's when all of the addictions, by the way, for men kicks in, such as instead of going to work and becoming the best version of himself, he can play video games, he can watch a lot of TV, he will even go on the porn, because men are not attracted to women who are masculine like them. And unfortunately, when a woman works full time and makes high income, she goes higher and higher in masculine energy. And what happens to man, in order to stay with you from masculine energy, he has to go down. So then you won't fight, because plus and plus, masculine and masculine will fight. Feminine and feminine, both of you gonna be laid back, relaxed, and easygoing, but then who will pay bills? And so masculine and feminine complements each other. But women, we ladies, are not designed to be providers and protectors and make money and help our men. Because a lot of you think, well, I want to be good. I get it. Each one of us as a woman want to feel good and be good. And by being good, you think I need to go to work in order to help him. But consider, you are not helping him. You are taking his duty. You're taking his responsibility away. And then you feel exhausted. And on top of it, again, it's just gonna be a matter of time when your health gonna start deteriorating. You can do it in your 20s. You can go to college and work and you will be exhausted, but you're gonna push through. But in your 30s, definitely your health gonna deteriorate on all fronts. And then don't be surprised why you're turning to alcohol or sweets and food to numb yourself. Why are you turning to a lot of TV and your back or starts to hurt, you have chronic pains, when you have, why you're having allergies, or why you're having migraine headaches or anxiety or depression. It is all connected, that you are not honoring your nature. Because I get it, in the West, we are programmed to go to work to make Uncle Sam money, but also pay taxes to Uncle Sam. So the corporate America win, tax money goes to wars and education and welfare, but we lose, ladies. We really lose. And I get to most of you, it will feel very uncomfortable to be dependent, because most of the women have this fear. What if he cheats? What if he lies? What if he dies? What something happens to him? How can I be dependent on men? And I get it, because when I stopped working in 2020, first 3 months, I felt very uncomfortable. Like, what am I gonna do? Even though I had a spiritual awakening and I clearly got the sign from above that I'm done. My physical health was deteriorating and I clearly felt in my soul the calling to stop working. And I trust the Creator. I stopped. But then first 3 months, it was very weird. It was very uncomfortable not to work. I mean, I have husband, I have a 10-year-old, and I cook 3 times a day, and I organize the house, and I take care of our home, and I have huge garden and trees and raised garden. By the time I take care of all the garden, it's already 3 hours. By the time I finish cooking and cleaning, it's another 3 hours. So it's not like I'm sitting doing nothing. But it still felt weird letting go of high income, even though I was working 5 hours a week with 5 high-end clients. But letting go of 150K per year, that was uncomfortable. But at the same time, my husband knew how much I was deteriorating. He was on board with me 100%, and he said, absolutely, if you're ready to stop, stop. And I stopped working. But my friends, what started to happen around 3.5 months, I started waking up feeling, for the first time, liberated, fully fulfilled and happy, because all of the spiritual books that I was reading, that was 3,000 and 5,000 year old from India, they were talking about that a woman's nature is to be responsible for relationships. But it didn't hit me until I fully let go of work. And when I fully let go of my practice, private practice, after 3.5 months, I started to fully embrace what it actually means to be fully responsible for the relationship. Because man's duty is fully be responsible as a provider, leader, and protector. But for us, we're fully responsible for the happiness and joy and love and relationships and connections with people, meaning your husband, your children, your parents. And all of a sudden, I started to feel what it means. Means when I am fully relaxed, I don't have responsibility of paying bills. And all of a sudden, I don't have any income, 0 income, and I can be fully liberated from it. I felt so relaxed and so at peace that my husband all of a sudden started coming to me every week saying, thank you so much for letting go of your private practice. First, I couldn't even understand, why is he thanking me? But as I continued to progress, I started to ask him, honey, why are you telling me thank you? And he said, because you let go of your private practice and high income, now I believe even more in myself to make even more money in order to provide for you and for our son and for myself. Because you believing in me, now I believe even more in myself. And this is how, again, this feminine and masculine dynamic works. But without you investing time and energy and growing into this feminine energy, most likely, if you're just going to quit your job tomorrow and say, hubby or boyfriend, please provide, by the way, it's not boyfriend's job to provide for you, it's only husband's job. But if you're gonna all of a sudden quit your job and say tomorrow, husband, please provide for me, I don't want to work anymore, it's not gonna work. It takes time. It really takes time as you're slowly decreasing your hours and shifting to feminine energy, as you're meditating or praying or doing the mantra or affirmations. You feel like the layers of this masculine energy start to peel off. And that's how, as you're shifting back to your feminine essence, a man starts to, next to you, shift back to the masculine energy. And so it's a beautiful dance. My man says things are too expensive these days, so he wants me to work and help out. Blossom, thank you for asking this question. When a man is, again, haven't reached his masculine energy and he's not yet a full provider and protector, he has his uncertainties and fear. And so if he's your boyfriend, he will definitely ask you, because a man becomes fully responsible for you financially and provides, leads, and protects when he's your husband. We now see men like that. They're less than probably 5% of them out there. So in order to attract or transform your man, you got to first transform yourself. So in the meantime, because the changes and transformation never happens overnight, and so if he asks you to work, but start working, if you can, at least part-time, because if you work full-time, you're degrading to the masculine energy and he's degrading into feminine energy, and it's equals to disaster. Because eventually, if you're gonna be in your masculine energy, a man gonna view you as his mother, because you're gonna be overworked. Obviously, when a woman works 40 hours a week, she's stressed, overworked, anxious, and she starts to deteriorate. She becomes controlling and dominating, especially if you start to make high income. And men feels that. And that subconsciously, 90% of the time, reminds them of their mother. And so he's gonna start battling with you. And so if you have to work because he's asking you, do it, but work part-time. But if you're gonna start doing either meditation or prayer or affirmations, and you're gonna continue to peel off your masculine energy, at some point you'll be ready to quit. And he will be okay with it, because as you're shifting to feminine energy, as you're doing the prayer or meditation, he's gonna start climbing the masculine energy. And that's when you will be both, whether it's gonna be 6 months, a year, or 2 years from now, will be ready to that transition. How do people survive on one income these days? Now, my friends, we're living on one income. My husband works, I don't. We easily survive on one income. I can show you, we live in a home in Georgia, and my husband fully doing okay, because in the background, what makes a man succeed is his woman. If you gonna start doing, again, meditation or prayer, 50% of the energy from above, from creator, belongs to you. But without knowing, 30% you give to your husband or your children, and 20% to whatever else that's going on in your life. And so you impact your husband's destiny. And if it's not enough right now, because maybe you're in the mid-20s, I get it. But as you're gonna go older, either your income, as you're working part-time, gonna start climbing, or most likely his, because you're doing the meditation and prayer. My husband, for the past 12 years, probably started to meditate and pray 2 years ago. But 5 years ago, when I let go of my private practice, after 4 months, his income almost doubled. Simply because I became dependent and because I was continuing doing the meditation. It's almost like a universal law. Without you knowing it, it's out there. If you're dependent on a man, he creator will give him the income to provide for you. And so if you have the fear that your man won't be able to provide for you, your thoughts create your reality. It will happen. If you believe he will, he definitely will.